Mary King herself was no ordinary woman. After her husband died, she ran her business alone. She was a merchant and eventually earned a seat on Edinburgh's town council, giving her voting rights at a time when most women had no say in anything. She lived and worked on the close until her death in 1644. The next year, the plague returned harder than ever. The 1645 outbreak was brutal. Some say the city was left with only 60 able-bodied men to defend it. Mary King's Close, full of people living side by side in terrible conditions, was hit hard. A long-standing legend says that the close was sealed off completely, that plague victims were bricked in, left to die, their cries ignored by the city above. People say that 2 months later, the council broke in to collect the corpses and found the dead scattered through the darkness. Some stories say they were cut up to make removal easier. Others say their ghosts never left. But historians today say that's not quite true. People weren't sealed in. The healthy were moved out. The sick stayed behind. But the city didn't forget them. Infected families marked their doors with white cloth. Council workers and volunteers came to deliver food and coal. They even hired plague doctors to help however they could. One of those doctors was George Ray. Ray wore a long leather coat, gloves and boots, everything waxed, to stop the fleas from biting. He wore a bird-like mask, with glass eye covers and a long beak stuffed with herbs. Back then, people thought foul smells carried disease, what they called miasma. So the herbs were supposed to protect the doctor from the air. In reality, it was the leather that saved him. It kept the fleas from biting and passing on the plague. Ray wasn't just visiting patients. He performed basic surgery, slicing open plague boils to release the infection, then cauterizing the wounds with a red-hot iron. Painful? Yes, but it worked. He helped people survive. Ray knew the risk, so he asked the city to pay him what he called a king's wage, $100 a month. The city agreed. But after the outbreak ended, they tried not to pay him. Ray spent years chasing the money. Some say he never got it.